You did everything right. You paid your bill on time, you carried no debt into the next month, and you even paid the full balance before the due date. And then you opened your phone and saw a notification telling you your credit score just dropped. Sound familiar? This is one of the most frustrating and misunderstood traps in the entire credit system. And today we are going to expose exactly how it works, and more importantly, how to flip it in your favor. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Marcus, and if this is your first time here, we talk about real financial strategies, the kind the system never bothers to explain to you. So smash that subscribe button right now, because what I am about to share could literally save you thousands of dollars when you go to buy a house, finance a car, or even apply for a business loan. Let us get into it. So here is the core problem. Most people are operating with a completely wrong mental model of how credit scores work. They believe the credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax are watching their accounts in real time, like some kind of live financial surveillance camera. So they think if I pay off my balance today, the bureaus know about it tomorrow. That is just not how any of this works. Here is what is actually happening behind the scenes. Every credit card you own runs on a billing cycle, typically about 30 days long. At the end of that cycle, the bank does one very specific thing. It generates your monthly statement. That statement closing date is the moment everything gets locked in. Whatever balance appears on that statement is the number the bank transmits to the credit bureaus, not the balance from a week later after you paid it. The balance at the exact moment the statement was generated. Now here is where it gets painful. Your payment due date is usually about 20 to 25 days after the statement closing date. So you might spend heavily throughout the month, hit your statement closing date with a high balance. That high balance gets reported to the bureaus, and then a few weeks later, you pay the whole thing off perfectly on time. No interest, no late fee, no problem financially. But from the credit bureau's perspective, you looked like someone using a massive chunk of your available credit. And that tanks your score. This is the hidden trap. The system is not evaluating your behavior in real time. It is evaluating a snapshot, and that snapshot gets taken at the worst possible moment for most responsible people. Now, why does this even matter so much? Because credit utilization, which is essentially the percentage of your available credit that you are currently using, makes up a full 30% of your FICO score. That is the second largest factor in your entire credit profile. Payment history is number one at 35%, but utilization is right behind it, and it moves fast. High utilization can tank your score within a single billing cycle. The scoring models get nervous when your utilization climbs above 30%. Cross 50% and you look like someone in financial distress. Max out a card and your score can drop dramatically within weeks. And here is the cruel irony. This can happen to someone with zero debt, perfect payment history, and thousands of dollars sitting in their savings account simply because the snapshot was taken at the wrong time. Before I go deeper into the solution, I want to mention something important. If you are serious about not just fixing your credit score, but building real, lasting financial freedom, you need to check out the Wealth Accelerator Academy. It is a group coaching system and full course program designed to walk you step by step toward financial independence. The link is in the description below. Thousands of people are already inside using these strategies to transform their financial lives. Go check it out, because what we are talking about today is just the beginning. Now, let us talk about how to fix this. The strategy is simple once you understand it. You need to pay down your credit card balance a few days before your statement closing date, not before the due date. When you do this, the statement generates with a much lower balance. That lower balance is what gets sent to the bureaus. Your reported utilization drops significantly, and your score reflects that improvement. For example, say your card limit is $5,000 and you spent $2,000 during the month. If you wait for the statement to close before paying, the bureaus see $2,000 of usage on a $5,000 limit. That is 40% utilization. Cross that 30% threshold and your score takes a hit. But if you pay down $1,200, 2 or 3 days before the statement closes, your reported balance is only $800. That puts you at 16% utilization. Much better. Now, here is something that surprises almost everyone. Reporting a $0 balance is actually not the ideal target. People think 0 means perfect, but scoring models are designed to assess how you manage credit. If you never show any balance at all, the algorithm has nothing to evaluate. It sees inactivity and treats you as slightly less predictable than someone who uses credit responsibly and consistently. People who score in the 800 range typically report utilization somewhere between 4 and 7%, not 0. There is a method worth knowing called all 0 except 1. If you have multiple credit cards, you pay all of them down to 0 before their statement dates. But on one card, you leave a small balance, maybe 1% of the limit. This signals active usage without triggering any risk flags. The result is the algorithm sees you as someone who uses credit, but keeps it tightly controlled, which is exactly the behavior the scoring models are designed to reward. Now here is the practical step-by-step process. First, you need to find out the statement closing date for every single credit card you have. This is not the due date. Go into your app, find your Statements tab, open a past statement, and look for the billing cycle end date. Second, set a calendar reminder 2 to 3 days before that closing date. You need that buffer because bank transfers can take a day or two to actually post. Third, on that reminder day, log in and manually pay your balance down to a very small amount. Do not rely on auto pay for this. Auto pay is set up to pay on the due date, not before the statement closes. You have to take manual control. Fourth, let the statement close. The bank will generate your bill showing that tiny balance, and that is the number transmitted to the bureaus. Fifth, pay off whatever small remaining balance exists by the actual due date, so you never pay a cent of interest. 2 completely separate transactions, one to control the reported snapshot and one to clear the balance before interest charges apply. This is how you play the game correctly. One thing you absolutely want to avoid is something called credit cycling. This is where you spend up to your limit, pay it off mid-cycle, spend up to your limit again, and repeat. Banks flag this kind of behavior as suspicious. It looks like you are trying to artificially inflate how much credit you can access, and it can get your account reviewed or even closed. If you find yourself constantly bumping against your credit limit, the real solution is to call your card issuer and request a credit limit increase. A higher limit means your spending represents a smaller percentage of available credit automatically, making utilization management far easier without any timing tricks needed. Also, do not close old credit cards thinking it simplifies your finances. Every card you close removes available credit from your overall limit calculation. Your existing balances stay the same, but your total available credit shrinks, which instantly pushes your utilization percentage higher. Keep those old accounts open. Put a small recurring subscription on them, set them to auto pay, and let them quietly improve your utilization numbers in the background. One more thing worth noting is that newer scoring models like FICO 10T are starting to evaluate trends over time rather than just monthly snapshots. They look at your balance history across the past 2 years. So consistently managing your utilization wisely is not just about gaming a single reporting cycle. It is about building a track record that will serve you even as scoring technology evolves. Here is your action plan. Find your statement closing dates. Pay balances down a few days before those dates. Leave a small amount on one card to show activity. Pay the remaining balance before the due date. Keep old cards open. Avoid credit cycling. And if your limit is too low, ask for an increase. This is exactly the type of strategy that separates people who wonder why their score never improves from people who can walk into a mortgage application with an 800 credit score and get the best available rate. The difference in interest paid over a 30-year mortgage between a 700 score and an 800 score can be tens of thousands of dollars. This knowledge is worth real money. And speaking of real money, if you want a complete roadmap to financial freedom, and not just credit tips, but a full system covering investing, income building, debt elimination, and wealth creation, you need to look into the Wealth Accelerator Academy. The link is right below this video. It is a group coaching program and course designed for people who are serious about changing their financial trajectory. The community alone is worth it, and the structured curriculum will give you a clear path forward regardless of where you are starting from. Do not sleep on this. The credit system has rules. Most people only learn the surface-level rules about paying on time and avoiding fees. But the deeper rules about how and when data gets reported are where the real leverage is. You now know those rules. Use them. Try this with one card this month. Find your closing date, pay it down early, and watch what happens to your score in the following weeks. Then come back down to the comments and tell me how many points you picked up. I read every single one. See you in the next video.